Title: What if Kendrick Lamar was born in the same era as N.W.A.? The year is 1986. Compton is boiling over with tension. The crack epidemic, police brutality, and gang violence dominate the streets. It's the era that gave birth to N.W.A., a group of young men who used their music to expose the harsh realities of their world. But in this timeline, there's another voice rising from the chaos, a 19-year-old Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick isn't the Kendrick we know today. He's shaped by a different time, a different struggle. He's still a quiet observer, walking the streets of Compton with a notebook in hand, jotting down lyrics as he watches his world unravel. His rhymes are raw, urgent, and unpolished, reflecting the immediacy of the chaos around him. Word spreads quickly about this kid who's spitting poetry that cuts deeper than most. One night at a local open mic, Dr. Dre's in the audience. Dre hears Kendrick perform a freestyle that paints a vivid picture of the streets. Police sirens, broken families, and kids caught in the crossfire. Dre knows talent when he sees it, and after the show, he approaches Kendrick with an offer: join him and a group he's working with called N.W.A. At first, Kendrick is hesitant. His style is different, more introspective, more layered. But Dre convinces him that the group needs a voice like his, someone who can balance the raw aggression of Ice Cube and Eazy-E with a deeper perspective. Kendrick agrees, and soon he's in the studio with the crew, crafting tracks for what will become Straight Outta Compton. Kendrick's influence on the album is immediate. Songs like F to Police still carry the same fire, but Kendrick's verses add a different dimension. He speaks not just of anger, but of the pain and history behind it. On tracks like Express Yourself, Kendrick delivers lines about the systemic roots of their struggles, tying the present to the past in ways that elevate the group's message. As N.W.A. rises to fame, Kendrick becomes the group's moral compass. While Cube writes verses that hit like a sledgehammer, Kendrick's words cut like a scalpel, dissecting the systems that created Compton's struggles. The media labels him the poet of the group, a title that sets him apart. But fame doesn't shield them from conflict. The FBI's letters condemning their music arrive, and protests erupt at their concerts. While Cube and Dre see this as a badge of honor, Kendrick feels the weight differently. He begins to question whether the fame is helping or hurting their community. On their second album, Kendrick pushes for songs that dig even deeper. Tracks like Roots of the Riot examine the history of police brutality, while We Still Here is a haunting reflection on survival in Compton. Kendrick's storytelling becomes a defining feature of the group, earning them both praise and criticism. As the years go on, the group eventually begins to splinter. Cube leaves, and tensions between Eazy and Dre grow. Kendrick, caught in the middle, chooses to step away and focus on his own music. His first solo album, Good Kid, Mad City 1989, is a masterpiece, blending the rawness of the N.W.A. era with Kendrick's reflective storytelling. The album changes everything. Critics call it a landmark in hip-hop, bridging the aggression of gangster rap with a new level of introspection. Tracks like Swimming Pools and Sing About Me resonate with a generation that grew up on N.W.A.'s fire but craved something more personal. By the early 90s, Kendrick Lamar has cemented himself as a pioneer of a new wave in West Coast rap. He carries the torch lit by N.W.A., but he's forged his own path, proving that even in the rawest times, there's room for reflection, growth, and hope. And as history unfolds, one thing is certain: Compton doesn't just tell its story through rage, it tells it through poetry.